Welcome back to the Listen Up Podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jamie, and this week we've got me, Nick,
ooh baby,
and Jordan.
This is a certified hood classic.
This week we're going to be taking a break from our normal album discussion, as we mentioned last time, and we're actually going to be doing our top 10 favorite albums. This is just our favorite albums, not necessarily the most what we think is the most impactful for whatever genre or music, anything like that. This is just our subjective, personal top 10 albums. Maybe we'll do some other lists later on, depending on how this goes over.
It's gonna be so
full transparency. This is entirely lifted from the idea-wise from the most or one of the more recent Ear Biscuits episodes where Rhett and Link do this. And I mean, even to the point that since we can't cut in entire albums, we've each for every album chosen a song to represent that album in 30 song playlist that is going to be as of the publishing of this episode. You can find them at any of the link trees on either Instagram or Twitter, and I'll make sure to mention that again at the end of the show. So yeah.
I think that Rhett and Link would be fine with this. They're NC State alumni.
Exactly.
From engineering.
Jordan's wearing this sweatshirt too. Proof
hey,
that we were there.
Hey.
We're chill.
Exactly.
They're cool.
And once this comes out, I'm gonna try to get their attention on every social media and say, notice us. You know?
A good mythical morning to you.
Oh, Leo's barking.
To you, sir.
What's he barking at?
Bro, he's mad that the puppy food truck left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're still there. They leave at 7:30. Yeah, we had to push the start of recording this a little bit because there was our apartment complex. They normally bring in people food trucks on Fridays, but then as just an event thing, they brought in a puppy food truck today from, I don't remember the name of it, but their tagline is like Denver's first dog food truck, and I was like, well, yeah. But it was cool. I mean, they had like all kinds of like fun, decorated like dog safe cookies with like different icing designs on them. We got them like a quote unquote chocolate covered pretzel that was like peanut butter based and stuff like that, and then some sort of like natural like bone treat thing. He liked it. He was standing on the counter, like how the food trucks they have windows with counters. He was just fucking standing up there, and we were like, "Hey!" And then she was like, "No, it's fine." Because there's a sheet of glass, so it's not like he's like touching any of the product. So she was just reaching over and petting him while we were looking at it to the side.
Oh.
So yeah, that was cool. I'll put in this week's mood board. I took one picture because it was just one person there. There wasn't like a line, so I didn't want to like stand there and be like the guy like, all right, I'm gonna take a picture and like have the girl working it. So I was like, I'll just get a side shot of him. So I'll throw that in the mood board. Oh, I also this episode's going to come out, and so if you listen to it, it won't really matter. But as more of building engagement on Instagram, I'm going to make like throughout the week after this comes out, like our top 10, like a post for each of the three of us top 10 albums.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
Be sure to look out for that if you really want to on Instagram. And if that brought you here because you wanted to see all of our dumbass hot takes, then welcome.
My takes are ice cold.
I guess we can go ahead and start off just not rattling off because we
in a very clear and concise manner.
In a very clear and concise and organized way, we're gonna rattle off. But so we're gonna do this in the order. We're all gonna share our numbers. We're gonna start at 10 and then go to 1. And we're all going to say, like, our number 10 album, and then our number 9s, and so on and so forth. And we just decided that the rotation we'll do is how we normally pick albums. So it'll be Nick, then Jordan, and then me, Jamie, again, if you're new. So yeah, I guess then we can just go ahead and get it started. Nick, do you want to start us off with what your number 10 album is?
I would absolutely love to. I'm pretty sure. Does Jordan pick the second album usually, or do you, Jamie?
Jordan does.
I feel like that's Cat.
Maybe that's wrong.
I feel like that was kind of wrong too, but I didn't want to say anything. But I didn't know it all.
We can cut this out.
That is wrong. But we have decided on the orders, so we
we gotta.
So we're rolling with it.
I feel like we should stay true to that. You know, maybe I should go last, right?
Okay, so we can do that. So then it'll be Nick, and then me, and then Jordan.
All right. Cool.
So that means Jordan is going to have the coveted number 1 overall spot to end it.
I picked the best album with the best song, so I feel like I should.
All right, so hopefully,
I feel like I should. Yeah.
All right, so then now that that's clarified.
Shut up! Don't even guess it.
You
You might actually guess it. What?
No, it has to be Find the Beat, and the number 1 song is Carne Asada.
You referenced it last week.
That is pretty funny. You know what? Not even gonna give anything away. Anyways, I was gonna say something in reference to my list, but you know,
I'm gonna wager that Jamie and I are gonna have
lots of overlap.
two of the same albums on the list, maybe more, but I think 2.
I'm gonna wager that all 3 of us will have an album on here.
Interesting.
See, that's the fun thing. Like, so for the audio listener, we've purposefully not really talked about any of this.
Yeah, true.
So it's a full surprise for us too. We don't know what anyone else is.
We actually hate each other outside of.
We don't talk to each other outside of this at all.
No,
actually, we only
never.
talk through this medium. Before and after we start the episodes, complete silence on the Discord. We just sit in silence.
Jordan's living in my apartment, and I don't know who he is.
I'm giving him free.
There might be an awkward break in the podcast audio there.
Yeah, so you might have
not,
just heard a
or
cut.
Not.
We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling on the editing.
All right.
There might have been, and we're back in. So, Nick, why don't you start us off with your number 10 album?
I would love to. So for number 10, we're starting off with a classic album. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very memeable white guy album. It's Currents by Tame Impala.
Ooh,
Okay.
I thought about not even putting it on my list, and then I re-listened to it. I hadn't listened to it in forever, and I just had to accept it that it had some sort of spot on my top 10 list, and it got bumped down to 10. It very nearly was bumped off by lots of other albums, but it's just such a great blend of rock, of like dance beats, of psychedelia. It's just it's impressive how well Kevin Parker fits it all together. And
I'm honestly surprised that it almost didn't make the cut. That's one that I was thinking for sure would be on your list.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. I listened to it so much right when I first got Spotify that I think the first year I got Spotify a little bit, but like the first year I got Spotify, I only had it for like 4 months. And then in my Spotify Wrapped, I think like all the top songs were from this album, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like,
I know. I got it. I started Spotify and like, the first year I had it, I barely used it at all, and I didn't start using it intensively until like September, and I think the Wrapped cuts off in November. So yeah, that my Spotify Wrapped 2017. I don't even know the songs that are on it. I literally don't know where they came from.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, great album. The song I picked for the list, for my playlist is "Let It Happen," because I didn't want to pick "The Less I Know, the Better." That's too obvious. I do think it's probably the best song on the album still.
Yeah,
but "Let It Happen." I'm a huge fan of long songs. You know, I'm a sucker for that shit. And
it is a long one. That's I think Vic likes, because she kind of likes the psych shit, but she's not like fully into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still kind of a hard sell for her. but I don't know. I like Currents a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Let It Happen. She likes it for the first like 2 minutes. But she's also not like a super long song person either.
The last 3 minutes are like the best part, where
right?
there's like a super long instrumental bridge, and then it drops into like this heavy synth portion, and just feels like you're floating, like so much of the rest of the album. But
yeah, I mean it's good. Nags, banger.
Nags, amazing. I should have put that, but it's only a minute and a half. So
that I definitely had that with some of the songs on this list where I was like, I like this one, but it's too short. So then I guess it'll fall to me. My number 10. Sigh No More by Mumford & Sons.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about them. I should revisit them.
Yeah, I've always liked, as the first listen to Mumford & Sons, I was like, I'm locked in. And then Wilder Minds was pretty decent, and then it's only been downhill since then for me. But I'm glad they're experimenting and doing what they feel like they want to musically.
Yeah,
I have no ill will. I just personally
Ted Lasso
love
theme song.
Their first and second. I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't watched Ted Lasso. But I'd like
I'll have to figure out my login information.
So once Jamie starts working, then he'll get the old Apple TV. Huh?
Well, yeah, because I'll switch back to iPhone, and then don't they normally give out like 3 months free or whatever?
Dude, honestly, they've been giving out like a year, dude.
They're going crazy
Verizon
because they have more money than God, so they don't really like. They're not worried about losing any. So.
Also, if they offer the platform and then you like it after 6 months, you'll just keep paying for it for the rest of your life, And then they're like, okay,
right.
6 months versus your entire life. Okay, cool. I'll take that trade any day. Truly.
Ooh, the Truly lemon tea.
Nice Truly lemon tea, number 2.
I got the Montucky cold snack.
I gotta get that variety pack, right?
I got the Dr. Pepper.
I
got the Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. But yeah, so Sigh No More. This was the first. I put this on the list. It almost got bumped off, but I listening back to it again this week, I was like, no, I can't bump this off. This is a banger. It was either between this or Babel.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also really good, but I liked this one a little bit more, so I just went with this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's another album that had this where like Babel has 3 of my top 5 songs by them, but this one has like the rest of the top 10. So it's like, well, I'm gonna go with the wider
quantitative
to me. But yeah, so like this was the first almost bluegrass like folkish album that I ever really enjoyed. I remember hearing it for the first time being in a van going out back at a summer camp I used to go to with our youth group. We would go you hang out at the property for a couple days, hike for 4 straight days, backpack on the AT, and then come back and hang out for a day and kind of wrap up. And one of the years you would take like the big ass church vans to the trailheads, and the CD in the church van was Sigh No More, and then I think a Rod Stewart CD. I remember, like, I vividly remember it was like 6, because you start super early. It's like 6 a.m, breaking day, and then just listening to like The Cave and Winter Winds and shit like that.
They say the F word on that album.
They said on the Line Man. They do. That was I think that was the first fuck I ever heard at a concert.
You hear him pop that off in the church van?
I don't remember. I don't think we made it that far in the album.
Damn.
Maybe it was like we only made it to like track 6 or something.
I remember listening to "Running with the Devil" by Van Halen in a church van one time.
That's funny. But yeah, like every song is great, and I love Marcus's vocal range on it and his delivery on it, and then just having like the banjo and the bass and the guitar, like bluegrass playing and stuff. But yeah, and so the song that I've chosen for this album is The Cave, which there are a few deeper cuts I could have gone with, but I tried to stray too far away from straight up deep cuts. So, but The Cave is still great. I love the melody in it.
Oh yeah,
crazy good. So Jordan, what is your number 10 pick?
My number 10 is an album I already did choose. It's at the top, pretty big. It's "Man on the Moon" by Kid Cudi. There was a good amount of songs that I still don't listen to a lot on the album, but it had some really good songs on it. Still love it. I still listen to some every once in a while. This is an album that I could listen to and still like the songs that I've picked and like listen all the way through. There's a couple long songs, but
right.
Overall, it's just like that spacey feeling. It's just so fun to listen to. Just so fun to listen to.
Oh yes, for the listener, that is we've done that episode before. If you're new, it's one of the earlier ones.
Link in bio. No, just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on the link tree. Yeah, you can find it through there.
All right,
you just have to scroll a little bit, you know.
Okay. But again, I'm gonna try not to go mainstream with a lot of these. Some of them I did, but for this one, I'm picking Solo Dolo for this one.
Okay.
I don't want to choose Pursuit of Happiness or Day and Night because that was very good. Almost went with Make Her Say too, but Solo Dolo is a good like single song from Kid Cudi that I just enjoy a lot.
I love the if I remember correct, I like how like that's one of like the brooding songs on it, right?
Yeah.
Like the super, I like that a lot.
And it like builds. It starts off very slow, and then the beats just kind of like come in. You know, there's like one little extra chord here, and then like a couple sings a couple verses, and like another thing comes in slowly, and then it like all builds. So that's what I really like about that song too.
Yeah, I'm a big up and away guy. What about
that? Is also a good one. I don't listen to that one as much as I should, but.
Always been a Make Her Say guy, though.
Me too.
Me too.
The
collision of three forces.
Dude, it's
so
good.
Four if you count Gaga.
Dude, it's so crazy how. Well, I guess I knew it before you guys, but even I didn't know about it. Like how popular like Pursuit of Happiness and stuff got. Like that song just got like went under the radar for some reason, even though it's like so good, you know.
Yeah.
I think we should all three sing it at karaoke.
I will, dude. I know every verse. I'll pick whichever one. I really like Kanye's verse the best, so I call Kanye.
It's a good one.
You can get the medulla oblongata.
Yes, that's the only reason. That's the only, you know what? You guys can have the whole song. All I want to say is medulla oblongata. All right.
I'm done.
Gotcha. All right. So that's our number 10s. Nick, what's your number 9 overall?
Numero
Nueve?
Nueve? Yeah, I couldn't remember it actually. I almost said ocho, and then I was like, "What? How am I stupid as a 22-year-old?" Anyways, number 9, I think, is an album I don't know if I've ever spoken a hint of on the podcast. It's
interesting.
It's a dark horse.
Yeah, it's called "The Neon Skyline" by a guy named Andy Schauf. And I forget exactly when it came out, but it was it's within the last 2 years, and I had no idea who he was. Just saw it like was a new album. Like I like to browse on iTunes or on Apple Music without having Apple Music, because I feel like their collection of new music is easier to navigate through than Spotify. So I'll go through there and just swipe and like see some new music, and if it's labeled as alternative, and iTunes like wrote up a little thing about it, I'm like, this is probably okay, and then I'll listen to it sometimes. And this was one of those albums, and I just wound up really loving it. He has kind of a unique voice. It's like, it's a bit psychedelic, but it's also a bit like folky with the specificity of its lyrics, and it's just it's a concept album in the sense that it's just all about a story of one night where a guy goes to a bar with two friends. The bar is called the Neon Skyline, and his ex-girlfriend is like back in town, and she comes to the bar and like hangs out with them, and it's about his like emotional confliction throughout the night.
That sounds kind of cool, actually. Like, I want to check that out.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's one that I'll eventually probably pick for the podcast. But it's a very good just storytelling through music album, much like The Ballad of Dude and Juanita by Sturgill Simpson, new album.
Banger.
But the song I picked was the lead single for the album. It's called Fire Truck, and it's the second to last song on the album, and I feel like it's good by itself to give you a pretty decent overall feel for the album. It's a little more sad, a little more like melancholy than some of the other songs on the album, but it's a good jumping off place, and it gets even better with the context of the rest of the album. So
I gotcha. Yeah, that's the danger. Whenever I was looking at some albums, and some of the ones I wanted were like straight up concept albums, and I was like, this would be good, but I don't know like what song I would pick from it to represent. Like that, I ran into that issue. I was like, it's got to be good enough on its own, but also not like it can't be like the turning point of a story. So.
Yeah, and I figured I was like, this is the lead single. It helped me listen to more of his music. Maybe it'll help other people.
Right.
So there you go.
I gotcha. Well, my I guess it's up to my number 9, and my number 9 album is Continuum by John Mayer.
Ooh, great.
Interesting.
It is easily my favorite Mayer album.
Me too.
I like a lot of his music. I don't love the like Your Body Is a Wonderland. I don't remember the name of that album. I don't love that.
Room
John
for
Mayer.
Squares?
Yeah, Room for Squares. I don't know. I consider myself a John Mayer fan, but I definitely don't like love all of the music he's ever made. Like the album that he's in, like a prairie or whatever on the cover. I didn't love that one.
Yeah, that was okay.
But this is like Continuum is easily my favorite one because it's got everything I love about his music wrapped into like one package with no misses. I love his playing style throughout it, and I just like he always has really good tone, and he constantly is like the guy with the most expensive tone, or in the list of the most expensive, like what it takes, like the amount of pedals and the amps to get his tone. But like I love it on this album. It's so good throughout the whole thing. It's like the perfect level of like moodiness with a nice level of like brightness for texture, and the solos are really good. There's a lot of great, you can really see his blues influence on this one, and a lot of like really just memorable melody lines for me. Also, not to mention just the depth of some of the lyricism on it, like in Waiting on the World to Change and Stop This Train, like contemplating the train of like time moving on, and like wrestling with the fact that like his parents are gonna die and stuff like that. So like I mean it's really good, and all of that with then you have Gravity and Slow Dancing in a Burning Room as like the cherries on top. It's great. I love this one. I even like the cover that he's got of Axis Bold as Love. I even like that. Some people really don't like that, but I think it's pretty good as far as covers go. I mean, it's hard to cover Hendrix, but he has a lot of Hendrixisms in his playing, so it kind of works out. But the song I chose, believe it or not, it's not Gravity. I love that song. You should check it out. But for the playlist, I'm choosing Slow Dancing in a Burning Room because I think it might edge out Gravity for my favorite song on the album.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You said you weren't picking deep cuts. I was gonna say, did you pick like Vultures or something? Because I really love that song.
It's great. Vultures is great, and I think Vultures is the song that Link said that he liked on it. Because I think he did Continuum. But yeah, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. I love the intro. I've slowly tried to learn to play it, but I'm trying to get back into more guitar. Yeah, it's just so like so smooth. Love it. Jordan, what's your number 9 album?
So number 9, fellas. I don't think we've talked about this artist really at all on the podcast. Maybe a little bit. Oh my gosh, almost fell out of my seat. This one, my number 9. It's been a while since I've listened to it, so it's not in huge rotation, but I like a lot of the songs on it. It has been before. It is Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When that album came out, I loved it. I still listen to No Problem a lot. I still listen to a couple songs off of it. It's like there's like 3 songs I never listen to, like 3 songs that I like sometimes listen to, and then like 3 songs I really like. I don't know how much. It's just like divided into like 3 sections like that. I don't know how many songs are actually on the album, but it's like divided into thirds.
Yeah. I think it's a great album, but it definitely, I think, like I only listened to like 4 songs off of it. Same Drugs, No Problem.
Yeah.
Smoke Break and Juke Jam. But I love, I like Same Drugs and Juke Jam.
Uh-huh.
Those might be my favorite Chance songs.
That album,
yeah, it's a great album.
Great. As much
It
of a
is.
cringe lord as Chance has become, like that album is so good, and like Acid Rap is also really good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy that
Dude,
fell off
his
so
his Tiny Desk is one of my favorite Tiny Desks where he
It's
reads
good.
that poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he reads the poem about like the key and being locked out or whatever. I'm like, damn.
And
Why does he love his wife so much?
Dude, he has a lot of features. He posted a picture on Instagram today that kind of made it look like he was gonna drop an album soon or something, but
He put out.
he put a
out a
black and
movie.
white picture. Oh, he did put out a movie too,
I don't know much about it, but
which I kind of wanted to see
But I
that
know,
movie, but because it is about coloring books.
Yeah, I mean, feature wise, like he's on one of my favorite songs on Pablo, like, Ultralight Beam.
Yeah, but not even
Love
like
that.
recent features. He's been really good too. But
Mhm.
oh yeah,
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so my actual song that I'm picking
Yes.
is "Smoke Break" actually.
Oh,
Which is
nice.
it's funny that you said that just because I love that song so much. When it goes
It's
like,
good.
we
It's got,
deserve, we
Future in it, right?
we deserve, we did. Yeah, I even put featuring
Nice.
Future next to it. So
Did you
Smoke
see-
Break.
did
featuring
you-
Future.
Did you see 2 Chainz do No Problem, freshman year?
I think I did. I definitely was at that concert, so I'm
I
pretty
didn't
sure I
go
did.
to
there.
that.
Yeah, the only
some-
person I knew.
Oh, I did.
a
I
friend
did
of mine-
actually.
A friend of mine, Deja, went, and she was like, "Bro, it was you made the good decision by not going."
He was in a
Dude,
wheelchair.
I don't know why people say
And he
like.
came on super late and ended the set early, didn't he? Wasn't he only there for like half? It was didn't he only play for like 40 minutes?
Yeah,
for
but I
like
got
an hour and a half he
free
was supposed
ticket
to.
though. I got a free ticket.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
complain about a free 2 Chainz concert, you know. And I really wanted to go to the T-Pain one. I think I even bought a ticket, but then no one wanted
Yeah.
to go with me. I was like, it's $10 to just see T-Pain, and like
I
I
should
know
have went to that. That would have been really cool.
I asked so many people. I can't remember if I asked you guys, or I might have just been talking about it and hoping that someone would be like, "Oh, that sounds cool." But like, I was like, I think I bought one because I was gonna go myself, and then I was just like, well, no one wants to go, so I'm just gonna. I was like $10 though, even to hear just like, what like baby girl, what's that song called again? Buy you a drink, or even like in any of the feature song he does, like off
Yeah.
of T.I.'s album. Wait, does he feature on T.I.'s album or no?
But I mean,
Anyways.
like
Hearing I'm on
I
the
don't
boat.
think you asked me because like $20 is my threshold for if anyone asked me to go to a concert and it's less than 20. I think up until this point I've always said yes.
Okay. Well, again, I was still in my dorm and you guys were over there, so maybe I swear I mentioned it to like everybody, but I might not have honestly. But yeah,
This was pre-podcast. We might not have been as tight.
that is true. But yeah, so that is my number 9 pick, Smoke Break featuring Future off of Coloring Book.
Nice.
Okay.
So then Nick, you can start us off with
Numero
now it's time for
ocho.
Numero ocho. Yeah, you can-
Let's
you can
go.
try.
So for numero ocho, I picked "Something More Than Free" by Jason Isbell. A fantastic album. It's a great portrait of
It is
Southern
indeed a
life.
fantastic album.
This is the first album I ever listened to by Jason Isbell for sure, because the first time I ever saw him play anything was on Conan, and he played 24 Frames.
Oh, what a good song.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, like I'm not even sure what this song's really about, but like that made me kind of emotional, like just sitting in my basement as like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, and now that you've become a real cinephile, you know what the song's about. So
Yeah,
there you go.
Nick
yeah.
likes what?
I think it's that, like that.
Listener, cinephile means someone who likes movies.
Yes.
I'm
Like the
I'm a
Sinnoh
movie
region
fan.
of Pokemon.
Oh, he really likes the Sinnoh region.
Yes.
But
Dude,
yes,
what? I
It
love
is-
that album.
yeah, it's fantastic. It's just such a great like portrait of Southern life from like
Mhm.
both an outside perspective from songs like The Life You Chose, and also like from a first person perspective, even though it's not autobiographical. Like he writes these stories about these people in these scenarios, like in
like Speed Trap Town.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Jinx,
that one.
Or,
Whenever you really listen to the words, that one will get you kind of fucked up.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I've always loved Flagship, and I've always loved so many of the songs, but like Flagship and Palmetto Rose are like both about like areas of South Carolina, and I spent so much time in South Carolina just on vacations when I was a kid.
Especially Palmetto Rose, because it talks a lot about Charleston, right? And you were like, like your family went to Charleston a lot, right?
And like when I heard him sing about King Street and like Sullivan's Island, I was like, huh? Like the song's about Charleston?
Wait a minute, I know this one.
Wait a darn tootin' minute right now.
And then you learn more about it, and you're like, wait, it's about.
Wait, damn! This is the place that I
wait a darn tootin' minute.
But then you've got Children of Children, which is incredible.
But I love If It Takes a Lifetime. That's just a great song.
Oh, awesome! Yes, awesome.
Yeah. But the song I chose for the playlist is Something More Than Free, the title track. Because
the titular track.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that song for a while.
Me too.
Yeah, and one day it just like resonated with me, and I was like, It now it's one of my favorite songs on the album. It just like it paints such a good picture of like such a complete like clear picture of like blue collar work and like and like people living a life that like every day you work your body to the bone and like and still being like somewhat grateful, but like still kind of wanting more deep in your heart. Like it's just it's simultaneous.
And then religion steps in, and that's what you're working for, something more than free.
Mm-hmm. And it's like it's a little heartbreaking, but also it just like it breeds such like deep emotion for like I feel like people can easily scoff at people who like live in the mountains of like West Virginia. Right. And they're like, oh, they're just stupid, like, but there's like so many more levels to it when you really think about it. Okay, so Jordan thinks
all our West Virginia mountain listeners.
If you live in West Virginia, turn this podcast off.
Yes.
Just kidding. That was satirical, but yes, I love this album.
That was the one that I saw him in tour, and then after that I was like, okay, I am now a stan. I went into it like, yeah, I like his stuff a little bit, and I'm like, this guy is a god.
Yeah, I love how the venue that I was gonna go see him at is like one of two venues that hasn't accommodated his wishes for having vaccinated shows.
I know we never mentioned that.
Everyone keeps like all kinds of people are tweeting like, so glad I got to see Jason Isbell, one of my favorite concerts.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, I'm like, I understand why it happened, but like, just these venue owners.
Well, it's because you truly are in purgatory, aka Houston, Texas,
aka Webster, Texas, the suburb close to Nashville.
Oh, sorry. Well, boys, I guess I can go on to my number 8 then. This was an album that I thought was going to be higher, and then it just kind of felt right here. But the album is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West.
Interesting.
Okay.
I still think that it, like, in my humble opinion, this is Kanye's masterpiece. Like, this is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how anything he makes or a lot of people make can like dethrone this as. I mean, like, every track is so memorable and the beats are incredible. The sampling is like nuts. It's so intricate and there's so much melody to everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel as the story progresses, the music progresses in similar manners. I mean, everything about... You can tell that he sat down on an island for a year and a half and was like, I've got to make something that He's going to make the world kind of after he spiraled after the death of his mother. And then, you know, the VMAs happened. And he was like, how do I get back in the public's good graces? I mean, just everything leading up to this album. And then this album comes out. And, like, this was one I didn't really... like, at the time, I just wasn't into hip-hop other than Eminem.
You might not want to say that out loud, my guy.
Yeah, we're honest on this podcast.
I know.
But yeah, so like,
humans.
so I knew like Power, right? But now as I've aged, and then listening to Cole talk about it on Dissect, we've talked about that ad nauseum. But like, this album is so stupidly good. Like, it's crazy. We had a coworker who she was like, "Yeah, I'm not really into Kanye West." I'm like, it's a Saturday, it's a slow day. We're gonna listen to MBDTF in its entirety, and then we'll walk around the building. And then she was like, "This is crazy." I was like, "Right?" Like, musically, from a production standpoint, it's like as like off the rails as far as the public eye is concerned, right? You don't really know much about a person from their like celebrity persona, but like as off the rails as Kanye has been, like, I think this is just a testament to just how brilliant the man is from at least a musical standpoint. I mean, it's everything's so great. The narrative's great, and then it also just has some of the best features ever. Whether it's it's Pusha on Runaway, Rick Ross, Devil in a New Dress, Nicki on Monster. Like, they're so memorable, and I mean, he brought out the best in everyone on this album, and so I just think it's great. And I thought it was going to be higher, I really did, but it kind of number 8 is still good. Like, I could have chosen a top 30 albums that I think are on an equal playing field. But my song...
I agree with that. That's a good statement. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like I had so many honorable mentions that I felt like were like basically in the same tier as all these 10 albums that I picked.
I had 25. I counted them. I had 25 honorable mentions that I narrowed down to like 6. I just want to know what all these faces Jordan's making are. I just want to know what's going on in his head. But my song, "Devil in a New Dress," Runaway is, I think, if you listen to the whole album, Runaway is the best. But like, if I'm just gonna choose one song for the whole album, gotta go New Dress.
I'm right there with you.
It's so good.
Interesting.
So that
what's wrong with Jordan? What's he laughing?
All right, so Jordan, what's your number 8 album?
So my number 8 album is also My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I was like, it's got to be that he's gonna pick like something similar.
Literally,
right,
dude.
So we've had our first double up.
I'm surprised.
And it's on the same one. I honestly thought it wasn't gonna be on the same one, and then you said that.
I know,
and I was
it's
like,
the same number.
Dude, I'm sorry. I literally could not stop laughing just because I was like,
God, that's so funny.
I was like, of course, we pick it for number 8. I also thought it was gonna be higher, but as I like this album as a whole, and like a lot of the songs on it, I was really into it back like freshman and sophomore year, so I think the albums that are more towards the top are a little bit more relevant to me now than
mine
album
definitely
is.
Reflect that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's one reason. I'm like, like I used to listen to these songs all the time. I know them, but like I haven't listened to them like a lot recently. So I was like, okay, but I still want this album to be on there. I was like, I need it to be on there. So I put it on here. Again, just love. I think we like different songs because, again, like Devil in a New Dress, I still don't listen to that often. Like, I need to. But even I listened to All of the Lights so many times that it's just like I'm still taking a break from that song because like I'm taking a break from this album actually because I listened to it for so long. But like, it's probably my most listened to album if I had to guess, just because of the sheer amount of time I've been listening to that album. So that's why I wanted to put it on here, just because it is one of my favorite albums. I just haven't been able to listen to it recently because I listened to it literally so much.
That's me with Mumford and Sons. Ever since high school, I've been on a hiatus, a 5-year-long hiatus, because I think they're the only band that I listened to for like a year straight.
Yeah.
Bro, that happens if you get hit by the Mumford bug, and then you're locked in.
My cousin and I talked about this one time at Christmas, and he was like, you go through that phase in high school where you just listen to Mumford and Sons for 2 years, and I was like,
I do not. Through that.
I'm in that phase right now.
He said, "That's me, bro."
I've never gone through that phase, but
it's because you played baseball and you were cool.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, mine was like freshman year, probably.
College or high school?
High school.
Oh.
Either freshman or sophomore. I can't remember.
Mine was probably sophomore.
I still listen to Minecraft.
But I saw them live
freshman year.
I saw them live in North Carolina right after HB2 went through, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this beer's pretty fucked up. So all our proceeds are going to LGBTQ charities from the concert." And I was like,
Go Marcus. Go Marcus.
Yeah. Then I bought one of the Gentlemen of the Road flags, and it's at his house.
But
it's so big. It is so big.
Like, I like dark fantasy on this. I like Lost in the World is a good one. Mm-hmm. Again, dude. Monster, like you were saying. Nicki's verse is so good. Wait, let me just make sure I'm not forgetting any of them.
I'm up in the world.
See Me Now?
Yes. All of the Lights.
On Apple Music?
See Me Now. Yes, dude. Oh my gosh, wait. I forgot about that. Thank you for... I'm not even joking. When I had Apple Music, it's when this album was also... Wait, no. It's okay. It's always been on Apple Music, but I like went to the album and there's this like bonus song called "See Me Now," and I was like, "Why is this song on here?" Like I thought this wasn't like a song. And if you guys know like how he made his album, there was a lot of songs that he released on this thing called Good Friday, where basically like every week he'd release a new song, and some of the songs made the album, some of them didn't. So there's a lot of good songs that are just like on the like just online just somewhere, Friday whether it's like yeah, it's called like Good Friday, and there's even a song called like Good Friday. Okay, and there's a holiday called Good Friday. Anyways, but
yeah, because I was amazed whenever I saw that it had like Charlie Wilson and Beyonce.
Dude, that song still might be my favorite one of the album. It's literally I think it 100% is my favorite song. Honestly, one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm not even joking. But I listen to that song so much and I still haven't gotten tired. The only reason I don't listen to it is because it's not on streaming platforms. So like I have to like try to listen to it, like on Apple Music or what? Apple Music on
Did I show you that song?
You did not show me that song. That song? Okay. I thought I showed you that song.
Well, no, I remember finding it and being like, "What? This isn't the last song."
Wait, album. See Me Now?
Yeah.
Are you sure I didn't show you?
Maybe you did. I don't know. I feel like we're fabricating memories now.
No. Okay, I found that song I think before I even met you. So
okay.
But I definitely like rave about that song a lot. It could be that I didn't, but I feel like
I think I found it and then like mentioned it to you and you were like, "Dude, that song's so good." That's probably
okay.
Because I think I remember finding it by myself.
Okay. That is also what could happen.
I think I was just projecting that I might have shown it to you, but that was
no. It's okay. No. It's okay. I literally like the only reason I say that is because I've never met anybody who has found that song like just in general. Like really.
Oh yeah.
Like.
Well, I was confused because I remembered seeing it on Apple Music and it was listed as like track 1 at the end of the album.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Okay, so we must have found it at like different times, but then like you mentioned it to me or something. Because I saw track 1. I was gonna mention that, but then I was like, they probably don't know what I'm talking about or something. But okay, that confirms that me and Nick found it at different times. But so then they took it off streaming platforms. And I was like, what? Like one day it was just like gone. I was like, what the? Going to my daily 5 listens of the song, and then it's just not there. I'm like, bro. But anyways, to wrap it up, I'm picking. I was also smiling because I really thought you were gonna pick Runaway, and you mentioned Runaway, but I'm picking Runaway because I just love it so much.
Okay.
Well, there you go, listener. And I think, in the album, that's like the chronological order, right?
Devil in a New Dress, then Runaway. I think.
Yeah, there you go. So then you get a little nibble of the actual album. So Nick, what you start us off with number 7?
Yeah. So this is definitely going to be a long ep already. I'm going to try not to spend too much time.
Oh my gosh,
these middle albums.
Okay, yeah, we should probably hurry up just a little. I didn't even realize it was 47 minutes. Oh my gosh.
But
I'm just gonna be a long one, yeah.
Yeah, but number 7, I picked The Divine Feminine by Mac Miller. My favorite.
Very good.
Yeah, my favorite album by him. Circles and Swimming show like a depth of maturity that he came to shortly before he died, which was like really deep, very deep and moving. But to me, I think this is his. It's my personal favorite sound of his. It like I feel like he mastered like R&B tinged rap on this album, and like after he did that, he had nowhere to go except for experimentation with like Swimming and Circles, because like the beats on this album are just so solid, and like the bass lines are just so incredible to me. And I think my favorite song on it is the last song that has Kendrick on it, which is God is Fair, Sexy, Nasty, but which has a very funny title. But
it is.
And there's like a well, I don't want to spoil it, but you should listen to that song after you listen to the rest of the album. And if you listen to it with speakers, like it's good in headphones because it's surrounding, but if you listen to it with speakers, maybe in your car, that have decent bass, and like you turn it up really loud, you still get that surrounding feeling, but you get to feel the music more. It's incredible. And the album as a whole, but also the final song. But I didn't pick that song. I put my favorite part in the playlist because I love his back and forth with Ariana Grande, and the drop into like the main part of the song in like the first 2 seconds where the bass comes in. Like I love that song. I also love Dang.
Gotcha.
But I didn't pick that one, which is surprising.
See,
because it has Anderson
that is
Paak.
my favorite on the album.
Oh, it's
Dang
great.
is my favorite song.
But yeah, I'm done.
Gotcha. So then I guess
It's all you. Number 7.
it's on me. Number 7 is Led Zeppelin 4 by Led Zeppelin. It was a hard choice. This is one of the toughies for me between this and Zeppelin 1. But I think if the criteria was different, it would have been Zeppelin 1. But since we were going with just our personal favorite, I think I had to go with Zeppelin 4. I mean, because, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Stairway, When the Levee Breaks, Four Sticks. Like, I think that pretty much this is like the pinnacle of one of the best bands to ever exist. And so it's just an incredible listen. Jimmy Page is one of my favorite guitarists that's ever done the damn thing. And I love his playing on this album. They really helped. I mean, they covered a lot of blues songs, like When the Levee Breaks is heavily inspired. But then they also, had originals with like Stairway. But, I mean, they really just helped bring blues and blues rock and like rock and roll too. I mean, not even... Yes, they helped bring it to America with the British invasion. But, like, I mean, they brought it to a global scale. I mean, they were... For the 12 years they were active, they were the biggest band on planet Earth. Like, they created like the modern, like, what a rock star is. I mean, like, so much to say about this band. But I had to go with Zeppelin 4. And the obvious song choice. This was like the most basic song I've gone with the whole time, but it's Stairway.
Yeah.
I mean, how could I not? Like, right?
Had to.
Had to do it.
I feel like when I kind of discovered Zeppelin by myself. Like, I say that, but I think I just heard like one of their songs on the radio one day, and I was like, I've got to check them out. Like, why have I never really listened to Led Zeppelin? And then I listened to like 4 songs by them, and was immediately convinced that they were like my favorite classic rock band of all time.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But I don't know if it's like neck and neck for me, Zeppelin 2 and Zeppelin 4. But I love them both dearly. Yeah, I love Zeppelin.
I'm a Zeppelin 1 guy. I'm a Zeppelin 1 guy,
Zeppelin 1 also
I mean,
great.
they're all Zeppelin 1 through 4 are my favorite albums by them, easily. Like 3 is some of my favorite songs by them. Like Since I've Been Loving You might be my favorite Zeppelin song.
Oh yeah.
But I just like 4 is like I said,
Pinnacle.
the zenith of one of the best bands to ever exist. So I gotta go with that. So Jordan, what about you? You want to wrap up number 7 for us?
Number 7 will be The Carter 5 by Lil Wayne. And I know that he has really good songs with the Carter 4 and the Carter 5, or the Carter 3 and the Carter 4. But this album kind of came out while I was really getting into his music and stuff, so it like holds a little bit of nostalgia for me as well. And then he has, I think, what is my favorite song of all time. Well, sorry, that my favorite Lil Wayne song of all time on this album. Other than it just being like a good album, I feel like the songs that kind of blew up I listened to, but I like a lot of songs on this album. I haven't really shown you guys a lot of them that I like just because I don't listen to them too often, but I still like really like them. So, but the one I like the most is, and then I'm adding to the playlist, is Let It All Work Out, where I've told you guys before, but he basically explores his suicide attempt, and
I think that's one of the few songs by him that I think I know.
Okay.
I remember you played it in the car.
I was about to say I've probably played it before.
Yeah.
But like Mona Lisa's on this album too, but which is also a really good song. But like when he goes into this, when he starts storytelling, like the first song is just him about being like in the music industry and stuff, and like how he's like made his way, and like, you know, he says something about like he's like so old he needs a rocking chair because he's been in like the industry for so long or something. And then but at the end of Let It All Work Out, like the beat kind of stops for a second and then goes into a little bit of a different beat switch. And that's where he starts exploring like for and I didn't know this until I researched it, and I'll be quick, I'm sorry. But like before, anytime anybody would ask him, it was very known that like he got shot or something when he was like 12, you know, like 12 or 13, I think. And he'd always say like, oh, I was playing with my mom's gun and it accidentally went off. And that's how like he told the story forever. And then I think on that album is when he started telling people that he actually tried to commit suicide because his mom wouldn't let him pursue music at age 12, which is insane that someone could love music that much at age 12. He says that, and I'm like, I want to believe him, and I 100% do, but that's like it's like he was almost destined for success, loving music that much. Like he was gonna be famous, or he just was gonna make music every day of his life, or he was going to die. Like, which is insane to think about. So that's why I like that song so much. It's amazing.
I gotcha. Deep. Yeah, man. I mean, we'll definitely throw it on there then.
Yeah, whenever.
So then I guess.
Yeah,
Huh?
but yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I got you, dog. I'm ready. Okay. But yeah, I don't think about Lil Wayne in that deep of a context a lot, but that's
yeah.
really
He usually doesn't rap about deep stuff, but
yeah, but it's cool to. But I've always loved that intersection, like any intersection, especially in like film and TV of comedy and drama, or like comedy and sincerity and emotion. And he doesn't rap comedically, but like he's not like a comedy rapper, but he's hilarious in like some of his bars. Yeah. And like we talked about last week. What did he say? Like
there were 5 or 6 that I cut in, yeah.
Yeah, I get so tired of shitting on like
that's when I can't hold my shit within, so I shit on myself because I'm so sick and tired of shitting on everybody else. Had to bust it out real quick.
That's hilarious.
Banger.
Thank you for saying it. I couldn't remember it, but
of course.
Yes. But yeah. Anyways, number 6, I picked "Hallelujah Anyhow" by Hiss Golden Messenger.
Yes.
The Durham native himself, MC Taylor.
Okay.
The first Hiss Golden Messenger album I ever checked out, which I'm noticing is a theme here, that I think I have some sort of nostalgia attached to a lot of these top 10 picks.
That's funny.
With Jason Isbell, with I know one later in the list. I think it just one. But anyways, yeah. the album's called Hallelujah anyhow because a lot of the songs are about persevering through any sort of like depression or just like sad state of your life type deal. And I think he wrote a lot of the songs cathartically is kind of like the gist of, at least the feeling that I get. And a lot of the songs that he writes seem to be written in that way. And this album is a bit more introspective on his newest album, which really fights this one for my favorite of his. That one he gets a little more like grand social scheme, like a little political, but like really just advocating for his like state of mind and his belief system about like humanity. But yeah, great album by a great artist. Definitely check him out if you like any sort of southern rock or folk music. The song I picked for the playlist is Jenny of the Roses, which is the first song I ever heard by him.
So. All right, nice. I like it.
Nice. So my number 6, this was honestly a toss-up between two albums by an artist. It was an artist that I guessed that Nick might have on his list, so I wrote up 2 for this spot. But the album I'm going to go with is Brothers by the Black Keys.
Fantastic.
The album
amazing
encapsulates
on vinyl, actually.
Yes, this album really it encapsulates everything that I love about like Dan and Pat as like a musical duo. Like I love their newer stuff too, but I mean this album is just, it's like they love the blues, and on this one I feel like it really shows through. I mean, you could argue that Delta Cream, which is literally a blues cover album, but I didn't want to go with a cover album. But this is an album, it's one of those ones I know almost every word to and can sing almost every like instruments part alongside with the tracks. I mean, it's got, the emotionally vulnerable songs like Unknown Brother, Too Afraid to Love You, to like whatever like weird tension is, this 10 Cent Pistol, and then there's just fun rock songs like Everlasting Light and Tighten Up. It's just great. I love the Black Keys, and one of my honorable mentions is another album of theirs. But this one, I love it, and the song I'm choosing for it is, I don't think a deep cut, but it's definitely not what blew up. But I'm going to go with Unknown Brother from this one.
Great one. I thought you might say Sinister Kid. That one's great.
That one's good. I don't know. I think of it as like the bottom rung though. It was either that one or Tighten Up.
I love that one.
I mean, Sinister Kid's great, but like
very underrated from that album. The final song, These Days. I love that song.
These Days, great.
Phenomenal.
The whole album is great. Like seriously.
What?
Oh, hey Taliban. What about DN? But yeah, I mean the whole album is great, right? But yeah, I did ultimate. This was one of the ones where it was hard to pick a song for me, but I think Unknown Brother is what I'm gonna have to go with.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Jordan, what about you?
Number 6 actually is another Kanye album.
Ooh.
And it's Ye. And so the day this came out, Ghost Town has been my favorite song on this since it came out, and I think it wasn't as popular. I actually remember it wasn't as popular when it first came out, but it got very popular like maybe a couple months after it came out, and I was just like, dude, I've loved this song for so long. Like it's so good, and not that I was like I was there before the hype, but
right, you were there.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. And I don't not like any song on here. Like I like every single song on here, honestly. Which I feel like a lot of people don't, especially like I Thought About Killing You. Like that one's a little iffy sometimes, but I even like that. It's kind of like non sequitur a little bit, where it's like not like really a song, but it's not.
It's like the I miss, or what is it? I miss Kanye off of Pablo.
Yeah. But yeah, so I and it's a shorter album, so I can listen to all of it. But I like the subject matter and all of this too and everything. So we're gonna be listening to Ghost Town also.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it gonna be Ghost Town?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen? I had never heard "I Miss Kanye" off of Pablo, and there's a there's a SNL skit where like Kanye was the musical guest one week, and I don't know if you guys know who Kyle Mooney is, but he's one of the SNL actors. And he,
I do not. If it's not Will Ferrell or Tina Fey or
if
Pete
it's any present SNL actor,
I do not know.
But
except for like Kay McKinnon.
Oh yeah, everyone.
Is she still doing it?
Really good.
Yeah. Kenan Thompson.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They're the longest runners right now, I think. But
Kenan Thompson. Okay, I know.
Yeah, but there's a like, Kyle Mooney runs into Kanye backstage in like the skit, and like all Kanye does in the skit is like rap that song at him like aggressively.
I miss the old Kanye.
I think
straight
I
from
have
the gold
maybe
Kanye.
seen that, but
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Like this, like
That's funny.
have I not heard this song? And then I listened to Pablo once, and I was like, oh, well there it is.
All right, so Nick, do you want to start us off with old number? The tension's building. We're starting to see the what we've really triaged.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5.
Sound and Color by the Alabama Shakes.
uh,
What a what a fantastic album. I wasn't sure where it was gonna fall, but re-listening to it this week, I feel like I finally tuned it. That's a great spot for it. Is number 5 all time. We've
Listeners, stay tuned.
we've spent so much time talking about this album on a previous podcast, but
For a while, it was our longest one. Yeah.
But the experimentation present in the album, the unexpected blend of like southern rhythms, Brittany Howard's vocals, and like the spacey textures and atmospheres of all the instruments. It's like something so unexpected that I never expected to love, but I've loved it for a long time. And the song that I picked for the playlist is "This Feeling," because I feel like it's it's pretty underappreciated on the album. It's definitely the slowest song on the album, and it's a great
That song is interesting because it is actually played not by picking or strumming the strings, but by turning up your volume and then using your finger to tap all 6 strings.
What the hell? I didn't know that.
That boom, boom, doom.
That's wild.
Boom, boom. Yeah, that's her tapping. I learned that because I know how to play that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's a fun one, technique-wise.
So yeah,
of course it's something weird.
Yeah, the producer of that album, Blake Mills, is like a guitar god. Like anyone who works with him that I've seen any sort of interview with is like intimidated by his talent.
Brittany Howard is also like she's good at what she does. She like So yeah, that's a fun fact about that song.
Yes.
Interesting that it's your number 5. For me, the coveted top 5 starts with "Being So Normal" by Peach Pit.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Okay.
Which was their debut album, and I do love their sophomore release, and I'm very excited for their 3rd album. They've already been in the studio, but
In the stew.
I know this is definitely
Stu.
the band that they're the second band that I've like second as far as how recent they've come into my life. I first heard them at Bonnaroo, and since then I've been like hooked. Right.
R.I.P.
but-
Bonnaroo this year.
But Being So Normal, Private Presley, Tommy's Party, Hot Knifer, Drop the Guillotine. Need I go on? I mean, come on. But I love this album. It was either this one or You and Your Friends, the deluxe one specifically, for this slot. But in the end, I think that like I talked, we did an episode on this. It was one of our early ones. It's really like the last half of Being So Normal really seals it for me. And makes that decision. But like I love Neil's vocals on it, Chris's guitar playing. He's one of my favorite guitarists at the moment who's making music. Like I love his guitar playing.
Okay.
Their music is the kind that like every time I listen to it, it makes me want to like pick up a guitar and try to mimic it and like play around with it. But yeah, I love it. Go listen to the album and the episode if you want. But the song I'm choosing, much probably to David's chagrin, is Private Presley. I love that one.
It's great.
He's a big Tommy's Party guy, which is definitely the second best song on the album. But I gotta go with, the solo. I'm a guitar guy. The solo in Private Presley is otherworldly.
It is phenomenal.
All right, so starting off with my top 5, it's gonna be "Dirtbag" by Blueface.
Ooh.
Again, I pretty much like every song on the album. A couple of songs even got meme potential with the "Used to ride the bus down, now we're bust down." Do you remember that? You like plug in a controller or something and then like start moving. I don't really know if you guys remember that one, but it'd be like, "Ooh," he'd do like the "ooh," and then like it'd be like someone plugging in the controller, and then like to a dog or something, and then it would just be like going crazy, and like but the bass would drop. It'd be like "ooh" as he plugged it in, and then it'd be like, "You start the boof," and then it was just like bass boost or something.
I don't remember that, but it sounds funny.
And then like the "Ain't a non-smoking room, but can a hoe tell me shit? On my mom and my sis had to kick my own blood out.
Oh, I know that.
Just forgot it was a crit." This song just has really good songs, and actually the song that got me into Blueface is on this album. I don't think this album was released when I found this song, but I think it was a single when I started listening to Blueface, and then they put it on the album afterwards, after the album was made. So I love it. So the song we'll be adding is the song that got me into him, which is "Bleed It."
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And I saw it in concert too, so yay.
What a song.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, you saw him at Rolling Loud, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Ooh.
So Nick, what's your number 4 slot?
Numero quattro coming in hot. Bilingual podcast. This number 4 is "All Your Favorite Bands" by Dawes.
Ooh, okay.
What a great band, all-time favorite band of mine. And this is the album I was previously referencing as being the first album I ever listened to by said band. Don't even know the first song I ever heard by them. It was probably "Things Happen," which is the first song on this album. But
by a lot, like 4 times, is the most played song on the album.
Yeah. But to me, this album like established their confidence and like mastery of the country rock genre. Like it's not quite as like hillbilly twangy as like some more like independent country rock, and like there's no banjo, but it was still produced by David Rawlings, who's like a great like artful country musician who helps make modern country music along with Jillian Welch. But yeah, the album's just great. It's like it's got a pretty slow pace for the most part. Pretty emotional lyrics. A lot of the lyrics are about like complications of some sort of relationship, or just like pity with society, like in "Things Happen." So that song is basically like, "Why are you whining?" is like the gist of it. Like just deal with it. Just push through it, you know. Things happen. That's all they're gonna do is the main line. But the I feel like that sets a dark tone for the album. The album's really not that dark. It's got pretty light, calming instrumentation, even though it's somewhat emotional. But I'm torn between my favorite song on the album. It's either "Somewhere Along the Way" or "Now That It's Too Late, Maria." But I added "Somewhere Along the Way" to the playlist because "Now That It's Too Late, Maria" is like 9.5 minutes long. And I wasn't going to do that after
Runaway's like 10 minutes, so sorry.
I mean, Stairway's like 7.5 or 8.
Also true.
True.
We're gonna add 30 songs to this playlist, and it's gonna be like 20 hours.
5 hours.
It's gonna be so long. So
But,
wait, so what's the name of the one?
Somewhere Along the Way. Yeah, that's become my favorite song over the years from the album. Love that song.
Well, my number 4, is actually by far, well, a couple years by far, the newest album on this list. But it's one that I've really, really come to love, listen to. It is Dreamland by the Glass Animals.
What a guy. All time, number 4?
Dude,
impressive.
I love this album. And like, this is all time, but I mean, this list is still relative to like what we're currently, personal music preference. But yeah, it surprised me how high up this one came. But it came out like just as I was getting into the Glass Animals, the singles started to come out, and then I was really getting to the whole like vibey, psychedelic space music wise. So it's kind of shocked me. But I mean, I've listened to this album all the way through so many times, not only before, during, and then after when we did a podcast episode on it. Like Heat Waves was a song that I just on repeat. I still listen to it a lot. But then especially after doing the episode about it, so many of the other songs are also like that, like Waterfalls, Tangerine, Hot Sugar. I mean, it's so good. I don't know. It surprised me too, but I really love this one. And I mean, the song I picked is the easy one, but it is Heat Waves for sure.
Okay. Dude, I hear that song literally.
So good.
I took a trip to the beach. Literally every single place I went to, I kept saying, "Guys, this is the song." They just played Heat Waves, and every single place I went to, I've heard that is probably my most listened to song in like restaurants just by accident. But
one of those songs that just
it is
like osmosis fills into your brain that you just learn every word to.
So my 4th album is this artist's self-titled album, Fetty Wap. Okay, buddy.
Okay.
Fetty Wap has such a good... That, again, I think I've said it before, and people make fun of me, but Fetty Wap is what got me into rap, and Fetty Wap is who I am today because of him. Trap Queen was the first song I ever listened to that was like actually like a rap song and that I actually liked. The beat was just so good, and then it was a little cleaner, which like I don't care about now, but at the time I think I just like they just like weirdly enough they just like cussed too much for me, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe it was just because like my parents had like Jamie. Yeah, maybe. It's okay, I muted him. He's just like ingrained it into me that and like I still listen to songs with cuss words in it, but I think it was just like the nature of rap. I really don't know, but for some reason, like Fetty Wap just got me into it. And there's a lot of songs like RGF Island's a good one. Like Mine, I think. It's called Again, not Mine Again. Again. My Way, just so many songs got radio play, and it was just so good. But the one I want to add to the list is Trap Queen, because
of course
that is a song near and dear to my heart. I almost added RGF Island, but I wanted to do Trap Queen just to have like an homage,
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say the only song I know by Fetty Wap is Trap Queen. So
wait, what'd you say?
I was gonna say the only song I know by Fetty Wap is Trap Queen. So.
Really? You never listened to the radio, bruh?
Not at that time. Wait, is it the one that says like 1738 at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, that's the only song I know by Fetty Wap.
Dude, it's so good. I love it. And I saw that in concert too, and all the songs that I wanted to in concert. Most of these songs that I'm picking, at least except like Kanye, and okay, well, like I've seen Chance in concert. Haven't seen only ones that I haven't seen I think are Pop Smoke, Lil Wayne, and like we already knew Pop Smoke was gonna be on there. Okay,
all I see is helicopters.
All I see is helicopters. But like half of the songs I've seen in concert, which is kind of cool.
It's an impactful experience.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so Nick, we're really getting in now. Top 3. What's your number 3?
Number 3.
The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Oof. On a vastly different spectrum from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, my number 3 pick is To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh,
Nice.
I struggled to at first when I didn't re-listen to this album. I thought maybe it would just be an honorable mention in the sense that like I recognize like how masterful it is, and like don't like.
I feel like I should have listened to it again then, if this is what you're saying. 'Cause this is...
But I thought about it yesterday, and like I had it listed in my top 10. I just didn't know where I wanted to put it, and I was like,
one of Obama's favorite albums.
That's true.
True. One of America's favorite albums.
Won a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
Not Fox News's. Not Geraldo Rivera.
But couldn't beat out couldn't beat out
The Heist.
who?
The Heist, right?
Yes. What is his name? Tell me, Nick. Yes, could not beat out Macklemore. I almost said Mac Miller because their names are like close enough to where I'm like Macklemore, Mac Miller, or it's like the MMs. But
oh, you're a big Mac Miller or Macklemore guy?
no, I'm saying he
Thrift
lost.
Shop, the Heist. Oh yeah, that's
I'm saying
still
he
fucked
lost
up.
to
That's
Pimp a
like,
Butterfly. No, that's what I was saying, Jamie.
Yeah,
I was saying, like you were like, oh, he got a Pulitzer Prize, and I said, well, he didn't beat out Macklemore, so.
I thought you were trying to talk shit about me because I'm the Macklemore guy.
Oh no! I was saying I was talking shit about
the
Kendrick
only reason it
because
lost
he couldn't
is
beat out
because
Mac.
the first season of Dissect wasn't out yet. Whenever he,
Sure.
whenever the Grammys awarded it.
Exactly, bro.
Because I wouldn't.
Cole is a fucking influencer.
Yeah, if listener, if you haven't listened to that, I implore you to listen to that first season of Dissect after you listen to our episodes of this podcast, of course.
Obviously.
But
all 61 of them.
yeah,
Obviously.
all of them. But that series made me understand this album on so much of a deeper level that I would have no like remote way of comprehending because I wouldn't even know how to begin to research so many of the lyrics that are like in the album that are like deep on 2 or 3 levels. But like just the funk influences, the jazz influences, and the insane lyrical depth in the album, like it's very moving to listen to. It is a little hard to find singles off of it to just throw on besides like All Right and like the single version of I, but like but as an overall experience, it's phenomenal. It's one of the best like musical experiences you can ever have if you sit down and you understand a lot of the context.
I mean, yeah, especially like I recommend listening to it once or twice. Listen to the Dissect podcast, talking about it, and then listen to it again. And then I mean, you get to shit like How Much a Dollar Cost, Mortal Man.
Yeah,
like
Mortal Man is crazy, dude.
It is
like,
the poem throughout.
Yeah,
like it is a crazy album.
The poem's fantastic, but like I knew that there was an extended spoken word outro like before I listened to Mortal Man, and I didn't know that there was like the first like 4 minutes of it was a song, and that song like itself, oh my god, I love that song. Like it's basically like an epilogue of of like the experience of the album, and like. I don't want to say too much about it, but like Kendrick recognizing that he's a human and that he has like done so many bad things in the past, and like he seems like a very wise like person like with his persona, but like the message that like we're all human, even though like he seems like such a wise individual. Like, will you support him if he falls into his old ways? Like, it's like it's just like the right little twist cherry on top to like,
dude. It's
what a. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I'm literally like the whitest dad on earth, and I can't personally empathize with like any of the things that happen in it, but like it paints such an amazing picture of. Like
so good.
Of a life I've never lived that generates like it's just fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, I highly recommend listen to the album, think what you think, listen to Cole talk about it, and then listen to it again, and it will transform it. It is insane. Especially if you look at that, and then you look at the trilogy of like, especially starting at like GMAC, TPAB, and then Damn. Like it's Kendrick is like literally fucking insane.
But the song I picked, I just picked like the song I felt like was the most underrated on the album because I feel like a lot of the songs are relatively popular, maybe not with the general public, but with people who listen to the album.
Is it These Walls?
No, I picked Hood Politics.
Good. Hood Politics is good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But These Walls might be. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. I love it.
It is good, but it is rife with innuendo.
It is
Rife.
I did pick the Divine Feminine, so you know.
It's true. In a stark contrast to Nick's number 3, my number 3 is Emotionalism, the bonus track version, specifically by the Avett Brothers. This is an album we've been talking a lot about, like feel and feel for the music. This is a feel. This album makes me feel things in every sense of the word, both musically, emotionally. It makes me think. It makes you think a little bit with stuff like The Weight of Lies, I Would Be Sad, Shame, Paranoia is a fucking banger. Like there is so much. This was the one I talked about earlier where I said like I and Love and You, which is the other. It was a hard choice between the two for me. I and Love and You has my like 3, probably like some of my 3 favorite songs by them, but Emotionalism has like the other 10 favorite. Like, I mean, Shame, Paranoia, Weight of Lies, Will You Return? The Ballad of Love and Hate is a beautiful song, like just absolutely gorgeous. But I Would Be Sad, Pretty Girl from San Diego, like so much of this album is great. Salina is great. Like the whole thing is great. And maybe it's favoritism. There's some good NC mountain folk I can kind of relate to there. But listening to this album, it really specifically conjures memories of just like driving through Appalachia, listening to this album, and it just feels good to listen to it for me.
It does.
Also, I relate with a lot of the lyricism, specifically of the song that I'm choosing to represent this album on the playlist. But it's The Weight of Lies, which talks about how, being a good person isn't, it matters not because of like, the past will catch up to you. So like, lead a good, honest life because it's worth it in the end, basically. But yeah, I love that one. This was the basic one would have been Ballad of Love and Hate. Also great. Shame, I wanted to do that too, but I think The Weight of Lies for me, just because of straight up the lyrical content, is something I feel I resonate a lot with. So that's what I'm going to go with for this one.
All right, top 3. My third album is 800 BC.
Who is that by?
Fabio Foreign.
Okay.
Let's go. So I've just been obsessed with the music coming out, or the sound coming out of New York's drill scene right now. And there's a lot of songs I like, but no albums I like by the other artists that I would want to, like Sleepy Hollow or Chef G, or I'm even like listening to some other ones on my like Discover Weekly. But love the sound coming out of there. And Fabio's someone that I can just listen to any of their songs. Like I listened to a couple songs before this, just finding him, and then I was like, I should just listen to the album since I like so many of these songs on here. I listened to it and I just liked literally probably every single song on there. The one I'm gonna pick is Wetty, Wetty. I also watched it. I also saw this performed live, and just he's just such a good rap. I've probably been following him for like. I remember I got into the drill scene like beginning of COVID, like probably before COVID started. So I've probably been listening to him since like, I don't know, like March 2020, maybe like May 2020 or something. So
he was on Meet the Woo too, right?
Yeah, Sweetheart. I almost yeah. I actually listened to that song today and I still love it, dude. It's so good. And then he's also on like a King Von song that I really like. He's on and again, I think I've already said it, but he has these weirdest features ever. Just look at his discography or like who he features with, and it's a lot of these foreign songs that like just get really popular. I know there was a TikTok song that was like, "Israel state of a body, order to the rose with a geezer." Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how to, but he there was a remix and he was on that, and then he was also on the remix that was like, it's like the two people, like it would show a person and then it'd show another person, and then they'd like be swinging their arms like it's like you know that song?
No, but didn't you say he was on like a Russian song or something?
Yeah, that was it. And it's like what? How's he getting these features? Like it's not even, like it's so weird. And it's funny that he wants to do it too, because he just seems like
he's
such like a
he's on his
like a straight line kind of guy.
He's in his bag.
Yeah, and then again, I have to mention that people are saying he had the best verse off of Donda, which just makes me so happy to see because he wasn't like
was he on again?
Off the Grid.
Gosh.
And it's not like he was like underground. Like I looked before this, he has 10 million on Spotify, so it's not like
wow.
But he definitely didn't have that much before, or like when I first found him. But just like he's not someone that's like very known, like there's a lot of mainstream rappers that are known, but I feel like he's not a mainstream rapper. Like people in the rap community know about him, but like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right,
bro. Those people are forgetting that Baby Keem has a verse on Donda, dude.
Boo, a lot of people have verses on Donda.
It's worse.
The album is still ruminating.
I agree with that.
I still need to listen to. I don't even think I've listened to all of it. I think
I've listened to it twice.
Okay. I do like Jail a lot though. Jail is a really good song.
Yeah.
God gonna post my bail tonight.
Yep. We talked to
We'll revisit it.
So
Numero
Nick,
dos.
You get to start us out. Number 2.
I'm ready.
What's your number 2 overall?
Number two is A Sailor's Guide to Earth by Sturgill Simpson.
I was wondering when Sturgill would show up.
Narrowly beat out, very narrowly beat out Metamodern sounds in country music. Turtles All the Way Down is my favorite song by him for sure. But
isn't that a? Oh, never mind.
It's a John Green.
It is John. Too. I think I've told you this, but I have that book signed by John Green also.
Oh yeah,
and I've never read it. Claire got it for me as a present. Claire, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry I've never read it. No, I wasn't a reader.
We're airing this dirty laundry, baby. Let's go.
But
the only book I've read by him was Fault in Our Stars, and I fucking hated it.
But sorry, John Green's a cool guy, though. I watched Vlogbrothers for a while.
Very cool guy. Him and Hank both.
Yes.
What a cool duo.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, man. Crash Course. Hank Green literally taught me psychology. Like
literally taught me psychology.
I took an online psychology class through our local community college, and we just watched psychology crash course videos every week. Hank Green taught me psychology.
That's really funny.
But
yeah. So what? How did I? Oh yeah. Sorry, Nick. You were saying. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I took it away from you. I took it away from you.
You're good. But yeah.
It's also like a metaphor, I'm pretty sure, or like yes. There's a story behind it. So
yeah.
It's
well, Turtles All the Way Down is like it's an expression that like it's always been a little difficult for me to understand the meaning, but it's kind of like
me too.
It's kind of like it's almost like a nihilistic expression to me, like why do we care about the cause of everything if like
But it is an expression of the problem of infinite regress.
Yeah. I read this. I read like a whole Wikipedia article about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Like because the phrase alludes to the thought of like the world being on the shell of a turtle, like on the back of a turtle, and then that turtle living on a bigger turtle's back, and that turtle living on a bigger turtle's back. It's like it's like this infinite chain of events that like don't really matter in the small nature of our life, but like
bro, like that Avatar scene.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Actually, I've seen that episode. But anyway, but yeah, that song's not even on this album. This album is mostly about messages for like his first child. The first song is Welcome to Earth, Pollywog in parentheses. And I think pollywog is like, isn't that a term for like a baby frog?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, and
like that.
I think it's an affectionate term that he like uses for his like firstborn son. But the infusions of soul in this album into the country sound are so unnaturally natural. Like they feel so organic, but like it's a little strange when you look at it from the outside. But if you just listen to it, it just sounds like good music to me. Like it's kind of like a guy singing with a southern accent over like not completely soul music, but it's like soul blended with country, and I love it. This is the album that he won a Grammy for, like best country album, and it's the album that he wasn't recognized at the CMAs for at the Country Music Awards.
Then he went, didn't he go and play outside of it or something?
And because of that, he went and busked outside the CMA Awards just with an acoustic guitar. And just sang some songs, and he preached he preached like liberal messages to people like outside of the CMA Awards, like just about. I talked a little bit about this on the Sound and Fury podcast, but but yeah, there's songs that are directly like advice for his children, some autobiographical songs just about his personal experiences, and then my favorite song on the album is All Around You, which is it's
I'm familiar with the bluegrass version.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know you came in the Sturgill curve on the bluegrass section of everything, which is good, but he's got
still kind of, I reside in that in that area,
and those are great albums. But I love the soul influence and the horns that come in, and just the huge swell that so many of these songs have. And All Around You is one of my favorites because it's just such a hopeful, and it's more than comforting. It's like inspiring to a degree. Like with the lyrics, like he mentions like there's a line where he says like God is inside you, all around you, and up above. And I think it's like he's not really a religious guy. Like Turtles All the Way Down, he like denounces religion in that song, but I think it's just like the idea that like all of us have this connected spirit within us, and we all deserve like the best future possible as like a humanity. I don't think that's like one of his central ideas, but that's kind of the feel I get from the song, and one of the reasons I find it so inspiring. And then two songs that's the song I picked for the playlist, but then 2 songs after that he has this like just like thumping war, like anti-war anthem that's just wild. His performance of that on SNL, the song's called Call to Arms, it's insane. His organ player is playing the organ and stands on top of it and starts surfing the organ and like rocking it. And
that is crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy to see.
And Sturgill breaks his guitar at the end. I remember that. Spoiler alert. But he like slams it, and they don't.
He pulls a Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes, before Phoebe Bridgers. Phoebe Bridgers pulled a Sturgill Simpson.
Crazy how people complained about one of those and not the other.
Interesting.
Oh.
Almost as if when a woman does it.
But yeah, okay. I've talked enough about it. Amazing album.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Nick, I thought we were supposed to be going fast. Man.
I know, dude. Well, we're in the top 3 now. But
it's the top 3, you know.
I know. Okay.
Look, the listeners they've already locked in, right? They saw how long the episode was going to be. They've already left.
They know. They might separate it, like listen to half again.
My number 2 album is a dearly beloved album. It is Sound and Color by the Alabama Shakes.
Number 2, okay.
An album that Nick ranked
number 5
as his number 5.
Mm-hmm.
This album is incredible. It's like it's one of the first ones in the like. It's not rockabilly. It's not straight up blues. It's not straight up psychedelic. It's some sort of weird southern combination of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That really comes together for me in such a perfect blend, and
Absolutely.
like this album is immaculate to me. Like I love it. We've done a full episode on it, but it is number 2, so I'll talk a little bit about more. I stand by everything I said. I think that Gemini, which is the song that I chose for the playlist,
Okay.
that song, like it is crazy how good that like so much of the album. It's we've talked about it, especially we talked about it more. I feel like we're in our feel era now. Before then, we talked about how there were songs that kind of envelop you fully, and like you're fully immersed.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini and like Give Me All Your Love, Don't Want to Fight, Dunes.
When I was gonna say, when I was re-listening to it, I was like, man, I am loving Future People like I never have before.
Like it's like so much of the album. It is Britney playing crazy. Like she's singing while playing that shit. That's crazy to me, because like she does most of the melody work. Like the other guy's the rhythm guitarist, and then there's like the bass is kicking the whole time. The drummer, who is the reason why the band is kind of dissolving, he's in there. Like
we're gonna have to talk about that post pod. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I didn't mean
that's
to
why
interrupt
there's not a Shakes album coming out. Yeah, I mean like Boys and Girls is good, but like this album is crazy.
Phenomenal.
It's stupid how good this album is. I mean even Sound and Color is like, ooh, what? I feel like so many people know Sound and Color, but they don't know the album. They know the song, and I'm like, there's so much more. Over My Head.
I feel like
I'm gonna miss you.
I feel like so many people saw them play like Don't Want to Fight at the Grammys, and they like had no idea who they were, and they were like, what the hell just happened? Like, why did she just screech into the microphone? And like,
my life.
And like boom, boom, me myself, I just adore it. I love it. But I could.
Dude, it is.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Like this album. That's why you put it at 5, and I was like, we got like. I love this album. I mean, you can listen to the episode. We talk a lot about it more. I really go into why I love Gemini so much. But yes, like I said, that's the playlist song for me. This album was the only ones that I knew easily were my number 1 and number 2. Everything else had to fight for it.
Okay.
But the number 1 and number 2 were the easy picks for me. I love sounding.
I had some fighting from like 1 to 4. It was
really?
Yeah. It was fluctuating.
My 1 and 2. As soon as I wrote albums down on my list, I was like, all right, this is number 1, this is number 2.
Dawes
for the rest of these 30, no idea.
Yeah, Dawes was originally number 2. They got knocked down to number 4.
It happens.
Sorry, Taylor.
Jordan, what is your coveted second place?
My second place is the Meet the Woo album by Pop Smoke, his debut album.
Meet the Woo 1? Okay.
Yes, Meet the Woo 1. Again, I can listen. This is the only album I've really, truly ever loved every single song on it, probably. I can listen to every song and never get bored of it. And just every song, I'm still, sometimes I'll even get into the same song at a different time, maybe I'll enjoy this one. There's 2 songs I really, really like on it. But again, it was his debut album. There's no features on it. Which is insane in and of itself to have a rap album at this day and age with no features and it to do that good as a debut album as well. Kind of insane. But
real quick, is Nick here?
No.
All right, I'll save it for when he gets back. You can continue with the Meet the Woo.
Okay. So, now he's back.
Okay. The real quick, I look at Spotify to make sure I know the song names. Modern Warfare 2, the original game score is by Hans Zimmer.
What?
All right, Jordan, continue. I was gonna
say, bro, you interrupted me for that.
No, that That's the guy who does the music for like every big
For
movie
Interstellar?
soundtrack. That's not the other guy, John,
okay.
whatever.
Carpenter?
Yeah, that is John. No, whoever did like the Jurassic Park and like all the Star Wars and all that shit. Yeah, Jordan. I know
Williams.
this doesn't resonate with you. That's fucking insane. But continue with Me Too.
Well,
Yes, my number 2 pick. I just love it. I think I can't remember. I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. But I'll just say what song I want. I think I kept going down to 2 because there's one that I really, really like, but one that I'm starting to like a lot more, and it's just really fresh in my mind right now. I think I'm gonna put PTSD on the album.
Okay.
That's your playlist
Not
song.
familiar.
Yes.
Well, you've never picked
love it
Meet
so much.
the Woo 1 for the
Yeah,
podcast.
because we did 2 and then we did Shoot for the Stars, right?
Because there's no way you guys would like it. You know. I just know maybe
We'll
one
check
day.
it out. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I was gonna
maybe
say, I
one
might
day I'll force you
re-rate,
guys to listen to it.
I might re-rate Pop Smoke whenever. Oh
I'm excited. I'm excited for next week when we do the re-rating.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
yeah, listener, next
Alright.
week that's what we're doing. Sorry, sorry I didn't let
Oh
Jamie
shit!
pop
I
that
forgot
off.
we
at the end.
say that at the
Yeah.
end. My bad. We'll say it again.
Uh-huh.
So Jordan, do you have anything else you want to add to?
No, that's it. That's it.
So then we move to the coveted number 1
Numero uno.
favorite album, the whole enchilada.
Mhm.
Nick, what is your currently? Because we might do this like next year. Well, we'll see. What is your current number 1 album?
Okay. Currently, for the past few months, my favorite album has been Bahamas is Afi by Bahamas.
Okay.
And-
okay.
Oh.
Not I can't believe I haven't thought like, oh, where's
Bahamas? Yeah.
on your list? Like I can't believe I haven't.
I thought
I forgot.
I thought that would be the only way you guys guessed it, is like if you realized that I hadn't talked about Bahamas yet. But
Yeah, I've probably kind of because of that spoiled my number 1.
True. Well, actually, I still don't know what Jamie's is, and I probably would have guessed Nick's. I'm gonna be honest.
I know Jamie's. I know Jamie's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. I love this album so much. As someone who can't play a musical instrument, it's still like abundantly clear to me when I listen to this album that so many of the instruments just sound so clear, and like they're what I was gonna say, they're clear, but then in that song they get dirty when they need to, especially in the end.
Oh, it's
when he
so
gets into
good.
that crazy solo.
Mm.
Like
Uh-huh.
I can, yeah, I can like air guitar fake pick that solo like nobody's business. Like I know all the little note changes just
Fuck yeah,
just
dude,
because
that song is so
yeah,
good.
just because I've listened to it so much. That's definitely the first song I ever heard by Bahamas on that James Franco Motorola
Me too.
commercial.
Yes, I was gonna say it's the fucking commercial song.
Yeah.
That's where I heard it
Uh-huh.
from.
But it's I've loved that song for a long time, but so many other songs on this album are great. A lot of them I love in the context of the album. I don't queue up like a ton, except for the more upbeat ones.
Yeah,
Like without just listening to the album. But anytime I'm driving for more than 2 hours, like in the past couple months, I've pretty much had this album on. Just like I don't know. I just love it. It's calming. It's energetic. It's reassuring. It's encouraging. It's sad. It's like a lot of the songs, surprisingly, are about like relationship troubles, because he doesn't talk like much in interviews about any sort of relationship troubles, and he's been married for a little while now, and like just has a family, like as a normal 40-year-old man. But he like it's just great. The last song on the album is my favorite, but didn't add it to the playlist because you need the context. That song is All I've Ever Known. But the Spotify really attacked me by giving me some sort of rap thing. It wasn't rapped, but it was like some sort of like, you listen to this thing, blah, blah, blah. It was like, you really love listening to All I've Ever Known at night. And I was like, Damn, Spotify, I need to go to therapy or something because that's heavy.
That's like I listen to Blonde all the time whenever I drive anywhere at night. Like when Vic and I go places, I just play Blonde all the time.
You know the vibe. But the song I picked is
know the vibe.
all-time favorite. And I feel like it's one of the least energetic songs on the album, but the harmonies that he does with the background singers, it's almost a lullaby in parts, and it also has these swelling violin portions. It's just beautiful. Like, so much of the album is just like purely beautiful to me with the mixture of instruments. And that's one of the reasons I love it.
And it's got that little the title has that little Canadian thrown in there, you know.
All-time favorite? Yeah. It's FAVOU.
Favorite. Uh-huh. He is Canadian, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian. That's I forget where he's originally from, but he lives in Nova Scotia now. I know that.
Oh,
Nova Scotia. Sorry.
My favorite, Jordan, you haven't guessed it. Nick, I know you know it. This was the first album I picked, and it was my first one where I was like, I know the number. It is Southeastern by Jason Isbell. We've done an episode on it. I talked at length there. I love almost everything about this album. I love Jason's personal story going into this album, what this album means to him. He says that he thinks the best song he's ever written is Elephant.
Okay.
It is so Jason is, in my mind, without beyond a shadow of a doubt, any genre, the best songwriter who is at least currently making music right now. For me, he's in the top of all time. But at least that I'm familiar with. And this album is truly just a representation of how his prowess in that area. I mean, this album moves me in ways that few others can, and most of the ones that can are also written by him. The guy, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, is easily my favorite single guy making music right now. Favorite one overall. Mm-hmm. And so this album, as soon as I was like, oh, we're gonna make the top 10 list, I was like, all right, number 1, Southeastern, Jason Isbell. Moving on. I love this album so much. It is, it tackles things from mental health with Relatively Easy. You've got just talking about cancer on Elephant. I think it has the greatest love song ever written in Cover Me Up. It talks about being a lonely trucker, which you could then kind of extrapolate and apply to just going through any situation in life, traveling alone. You've got Stockholm, which is great, talking about this album is so stupidly amazing to me. Mm-hmm. And I love the man's music. I love all of his recent stuff. We talked about it in the Nashville Sound. I was surprised how much I love so much of his music past then, but this album for me is every song lyrically and musically, and it is just, this album is fucking incredible. And that's all I can say about it. After I talk a lot, that's all I can say, right? And so but the only issue is, I don't know what song to put on the playlist. I don't know if I should put Cover Me Up or Elephant on it, because Elephant is great, but it's also very sad.
I feel like you should go Cover Me Up, and then if someone loves that song, they should check
out that's what I've been leaning. So then the playlist, I will go with Cover Me Up. If you've only ever heard the Morgan Wallen one, you're in for a treat. You will never listen to that bigot again. I don't know. I love this album so much. It was the easiest choice for me for this list. Check it out. If you remotely enjoy Cover Me Up, listen to the whole thing and listen to all of his music.
All right, I guess that
take us home.
Jordan, that leaves you
with my number one, the best album of all time with the best song of all time.
Ooh.
Meet the Woo 2, boys. I don't know if it was any. I don't know if it was
He's
any.
done it.
Baby.
He's done it.
There might have been no
Surprise.
secrecy when it came to that one. But that album, just the features are perfect on it. All the songs are different enough for me that it's just perfect. Each person adds their own flavor to his style also. After knowing what the style is and just getting a lot of there's a lot of people from New York on there also, and it's not like super mainstream, but it's still like what he wanted, and it was the last album that he like very closely worked with as well. And I think this album's been on repeat since I found it, basically. And the samples, some of the samples are just so good. And then just the drill beats, like Fabio's is really good. A Boogie with a Hoodie, he's on there. He's on the I'm forgetting. Hold on.
Foreigner.
Wow.
Yes, Foreigner. He's on the Foreigner. Lil TJ is on the Mannequin. Wait, do you have the list up, or do you remember that?
I have Spotify.
Dude,
up right
I was about to say there's
now.
no way.
No way.
It was gonna take me like 1 second to think of it, and you were just like blurting it out instantly, and I was like, dude, how? There's no way.
When you said the Boogie with the Hoodie song, I was like, maybe you remembered that. And then when he said Mannequin, I was like,
I don't know the names of the songs on the album.
I was like, no way Jamie knows that. Dude.
That's the only one I know.
And that wasn't even originally on Meet the Woo too.
Legendary.
That was on Meet the Woo. One. Yes. Quavo. I don't really. I think my least favorite songs are the one with Quavo in it. But Invincible just starts off so good. This whole song. I will at least. I've at least listened to every song here probably like 30 plus times, except maybe War. War is the only one I still haven't gotten into a lot. But every other one is amazing. And to end it, we're gonna go with the Ariana Grande sample, Mannequin. We're gonna go with Mannequin. It's good. It's so good. That song I listened to today again, and it just sealed the one that I was gonna pick. I almost picked Sweetheart. I almost picked Christopher Walken because that one's good too. But no, Mannequin, dude. Oh, it's just so good. And that concludes the list.
There we go.
And that concludes the top 10 of our favorite albums as of August 31st, 2021. So I guess I at least wrote down my honorable mentions. We just rattle those off. But once again, check out the link tree in our...
Please.
It's also I think it's the Interest Point Productions is the name of the Spotify. But in any case, you can check out our Twitter and Instagram for the link to the podcast playlist. That's going to have all the songs we mentioned. There were definitely some surprises to me out of everyone's list. Not even just mine. But I guess we can go ahead. So just real quick, we'll wrap up. Rattling off honorable mentions. Mine, 22 A Million by Bon Iver. Blonde by Frank Ocean. Love that one too. To Pimp a Butterfly got bumped down to honorable mention for me.
Imagine.
And I think, and that's why when you talked about it earlier, you were like, it was honorable mention. I listened to it. It's back on it. I think I should have done that.
Number 3.
I had 30 albums that I was listening to. Like my original list was like 30 or 35 albums. So I had to triage. Turn Blue by the Black Keys. Led Zeppelin 1 by Led Zeppelin. 21 by Adele. Love it. Check out the episode. Cope Deluxe Edition by Manchester Orchestra. And the one that I was most surprised that got knocked out of my top 10, the 2020 Complete Experience by Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Wow.
Huh.
I fucking love that. Like, that and Cope were in my initial 10, and then they got bumped. So
Crazy.
maybe stay tuned for some episodes on those. But yeah, that's I could have gone on another 20 albums of my honorable mentions, but I'm gonna cut myself off there.
Yeah, I had in my honorable mentions, I had Led Zeppelin 2, Hotel California by the Eagles, Purgatory by Tyler Childers, Metamodern Sounds in Country Music, Sturgill Simpson, Bandana by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib.
Nice.
Another episode we've done.
True, yes. Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler the Creator.
Nice.
Okay.
I feel like that one's a
We're gonna
little
see that
recent. I might not have given it enough time to ruminate, but I do.
There's something like that too for me.
Yeah, I do.
Like
love
I'm saying, we might do this next year, and
Yeah.
like the whole list might be
completely different.
The exact same.
Oh shit!
We'll
2
see.
hours
We'll
of the
see.
same podcast. And another one, BTI, because of the internet, Childish Gambino.
Okay. Yep.
When You See Yourself, Kings of Leon. I think that's my favorite album by them. Their newest album. It's
Really?
yeah, it's between
Interesting.
it's between that and Mechanical Bull, but and then
Right.
Brothers by the Black Keys was my last one.
Ah, yes. One of
Great.
mine. My 6, I believe.
Yeah. Did you have any to pop off, Jordan?
I had Find the Beat by Blueface. Wild Ones by Flo Rida. Had a lot of good.
Oh,
good reading on that one.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. There's like I'd Cry on there. I think Whistle's on there too.
I think so.
Wild Ones, a couple. I think there's one more that got popular.
Is Good Feeling on?
Yeah, no,
Wild
it's
Ones?
on. Yeah, it's on that one.
Love
And
that
then and then also, I know I really liked. I liked Pop Smoke's third album. Again, there's not as much material, I think, because there is a lot more songs as well on there. I even like a couple songs off his new album, but not as much.
Yeah, what is Faith his new album? Is that a
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he came up with a 4th one.
You didn't see me posted on my story, my guy? Weird.
We've
Weird.
established we are not friends outside of this podcast.
That's true,
yeah,
that's true.
we don't associate at all.
No. I do like Acid Rap a lot, and then I like a few other Kanye albums too
Oh yeah.
that I
Yeah.
think deserve a mention.
hour.
I
Mr. West,
think that's
Mr.
it.
West.
I think that's it that I can
Gotcha.
think of.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, my recent listenings, if we want to throw that in, it's literally been everything for this album.
I was about to say
for this podcast, and then Donda. But
yeah, I've been listening to Donda. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
I mean, like everything else is just all shit for this podcast.
Yes.
I was all the stuff for this podcast. Listen to Donda.
Mhm.
I've been listening to Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. That you guys are
Nice.
ooh, Baby Keem he sounds bad. Ooh. I
As
don't wanna
far
hear
as
that.
me
Whoever
and
said he
David are
sounds
concerned,
bad?
it's a song that
Who said he sounds
Kendrick.
bad?
It's a Kendrick Lamar song that's only a feature that he's in a different song.
Who said who's telling you it's bad?
Jamie and David.
We're not saying it's bad. We're saying if Kendrick wasn't on it, I wouldn't listen to it.
I mean, you
I-
can't
I
really
love-
like blame them for that. You know?
I love all the parts.
I
There's
haven't.
like-
I only listened to it once.
I swear
I
there's
haven't
like
listened to it
4
enough,
beat
so-
switches in it. Love every part of it. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Baby Keem is the problem.
Baby Keem on the track.
he doesn't say that.
I've just been listening to everything that have been pretty much just shows this week. So
Yeah.
I don't have
Well,
anything to say.
it is a little bit of everything.
Haha,
It is.
Dawes. I did want to say,
Dogs, which we didn't talk about.
Yeah. Not in this segment, but they were in my list, you know. But
Okay.
an album I did love this week
Okay.
that I didn't talk about was it's called You Yeah You, and it's by Trey Burt, and he's on John Prine's record label, and
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, and it's a fantastic modern folk album, very good. Talks about society,
Gotcha.
talks about a little bit about politics, about his own mental state. Love
We
it.
live in a society.
So much of that.
We live
He
in a
he is
society.
he's Bob Dylan Joker mode.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's a joke. Don't actually think that.
Oh.
I'm the Joker.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
That's folk music, baby.
I have, in fact, now actually watched the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
on that note, we just want to say thanks again for listening this week. We know it's a little bit longer, but hopefully you've enjoyed the discussion. No apologies.
No apologies.
We hope you enjoyed the discussion. And remember to tune in next week where we're going to be just gut check, re-rating the albums we've done so far. And then at some point we'll get back into the regular rotation. All right, calm down. But, if you wanted to share your thoughts about our lists, any of our lists, you can do so by either leaving a comment about your thoughts on this week's episode on YouTube, or you can throw them our way on Instagram. Or if you want it a third way, you can also tweet them at us. We're on Twitter at ListUpPodcast and Instagram at ListenUpPod. Sorry, they're not the same. But those accounts, as well as our personal handles, are going to be in the description of wherever you found this episode. As well as check out the bios for the playlists on at least Spotify, maybe more platforms, but at least Spotify. But also make sure to give those accounts a follow so that you can see any updates or announcements that we make, because that's where we send them out. We also ask, if you enjoyed this episode and feel like we've earned it, if you wanted to throw a rating or review our way, that would be very nice. It helps us out. And also check out the new merch. I guess it's still new, but I could just say check out the merch at interestpointproductions.com. Other than that, for now, we'll catch you next week, and remember to listen up.